Hey y'all, Pepper Guy here. Thanks for joining me again. Today I'm just going to give a brief update on my hot pepper growing series. As you can see, I think you can see, most of my plants here have sprouted, um, which is nice. I actually had my earliest ones to sprout. The very first ones were the Carolina Reaper of all peppers, but I mean, I would say I've got nearly a 95 or better percent germ rate. You know, most of these I put either 2 or 3 seeds, and there's only like two or three cups that I see one plant in. So I'm very happy about this. And if you haven't watched my first video on this, go check that out. And I have actually added a few new ones too. I get my seed at was it whitehotpeppers.com, and they've always been really good. They always have some good germinating seed, and the best thing is when you get like I only bought one variety. There was just one that I really wanted to get, and they'll just send you 2 random ones as well on top of that for free. So that's pretty awesome. So of course I went ahead and planted those two as well. So I mean I'm up to I probably got about 40 here, maybe 35 or so. But anyways, it's always usually more than I planned on. So but yeah, that's pretty much it with those. I think let's see, what's the date on that? The 28th. We're at the 11th. So I mean, we're talking. It's only been 11 days, and everything's come up. So I do have a heat pad, and yeah, it's just did it pretty simple. Just soil and heat. But anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do, the most important thing to me, is I'm going to start my crossing. And none of these are the super hot. So these are, I've got jalapenos, centaucas, chiltepins, and pekins. And the chiltepin and pekins, they grow a lot slower than jalapenos. So today I'm going to be crossing the centaucas and the jalapenos. Um, and so before I do get started on that, I'm just gonna let y'all know that this is gonna be a pretty basic video, just to really show how how you get the pollen on one flower and pollinate another flower. Just really basic stuff. But um, genetics, it can be really complex, and I don't want to make it complex, but it's not always so easy as, okay, I've got this plant, I've got that plant, I'm going to cross those, and I'm going to make something right in the middle. It, it all depends on the parents, on what the genetics are. And genetics, you can't see this. This is stuff in the inside. This is the zygosity of the plant itself. And again, for this video, I'm not going to really go into that, but I think I will make a video later on to go more in depth, to maybe discuss why people are seeing things that they're not familiar with. And again, it goes back to the peppers themselves, the parents that you use. Sometimes the parent could be a hybrid itself. It could already be a hybrid. And when you cross that with another plant, say it's another hybrid, say you got 2 hybrids crossing, you're going to get so much variation in that next plant or progeny, the next fruit that it makes, that which is good though. I mean, most pepper breeders and all you guys that grow peppers, the people in this community, this pepperhead community, they love variation. So it's a good thing. But sometimes you want to cross something, and you're anticipating one thing and you see something that's just really crazy. Well, just remember that if your parents are hybrids themselves, you're going to get a lot of variation, and it's going to take 5, 6, 7 generations to stabilize it. But anyways, that'll be for a later video. For this video, I'm just going to basically show you how to get the pollen from one of these flowers and cross it onto the flower of another. So I guess that's it. Let's get some pollen. All right, so here we are. I've got a Sentaka plant, which is it's a Japanese type of cayenne pepper. It's kind of a small, just think of a conical cayenne that's kind of short, maybe a little fatter than like a Thai pepper or something. But anyways, I just thought it was unique, and I heard they cook with it a lot in Japan, so I figured, well, a lot of people like it somewhere, so I'm going to give it a try. So here we go. So any old flower like this you see that's open is putting out pollen. So that's the stage where you want to gather pollen. And the way pepper plants work is they have male and female parts in the flower, and all plants aren't like that, but fortunately peppers are. So that makes it real simple to do what we're going to do. So if you look here, this little white protruding thing here, this is the stigma. That's the stigma there. And pollen actually lands on the end of that. It's kind of sticky there on the end. It lands on the end and it germinates, and then it bores itself into the stigma and goes down to the base of the flower back here. Let's see, back here. And that's where it forms the embryo, and then it becomes, it grows into a pepper eventually. A couple weeks later, you'll see a tiny little pepper growing right inside the flower. So this would be the female parts here, the stigma. And then if you look, let's see, I'll be kind of careful here. Let's see. Let's get a good view in there. Well, you can kind of see that. You see all that pollen in there. You see all this sticky little yellow right inside there. So that's the pollen. Those are the anthers. That's the male parts. Basically, this flower, since it's open, it has already self-pollinated itself likely. So this flower will eventually make a regular Sentaka pepper. But for our case, all we want to do is we want to capture this pollen. So we just, I just get one of these little Ziploc bag, or yeah, it's a really tiny Ziploc bag. You see, it's like the size of put about a dime in there or something. But all we do, oh, and by the way, I like this. This is an old toothbrush, old electric toothbrush. Look at that. I just tore off the head of it, and I use that to collect pollen with. It's really nice. It serves a great purpose at this point. And so all we do, put the bag right under it. Let's see if I can do this. Just put the bag under it to collect it. You can use anything you want. I like these little bags. Just do it a little bit. It doesn't take much. And look at that. See if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that pollen there. See that? And that doesn't take much at all. And I wouldn't do it too long because you don't want to damage the flowers. Now in this case, since these flowers are only going to be used for crossing purposes, I'm not too concerned with these flowers that have already opened. So let's see. I'll get another one of these. Something else you can do that apparently a lot of people do is, I know you're not going to see this, but you saw how it worked the first time. What a lot of people do is just get like a little Q-tip or something like that, and all you really got to do is tap these, tap the stalks of these flowers, and that pollen will fall right off. But look at this. Look at all this pollen. Let's see. Look at all that. Look at that. A whole lot of pollen. So this is the genetics from the male. So when you get pollen off of a flower, that's going to be the male part. That's going to be the male parent. So that's it for that. That's all we need to do. Keep that pollen separate. Don't knock it off or anything. You can also use, I mean, that amount of pollen, I could cross several flowers with that. Let's see. Okay, and now the female part, which is the part where the cross is actually going to grow, that's where we're actually going to be making the cross. Here, let me set this up. All right, now this is our jalapeno plant. So this will be our female. What you want to look for here is a flower just like this. You see this? It's not open yet. It's just about to pop, though. You can see it's just about to open up its petals, but it hasn't yet, which is very important because that means it hasn't created pollen yet. So it's not going to self itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the male, the anthers, the part that makes the pollen. That way it can't self itself. And we're going to use that pollen that we collected, and we're going to brush it on the stigma of this plant. And hopefully in a week or two we'll see a little pepper growing. So what you want to do here, be really careful at this point, at this stage, because it can be easy to knock to damage your stigma. You don't want to damage that. You want to give it the best chance possible to make your cross. So what we're going to do here, I'm not too worried about the rest of the plant, since this plant is it's only intended to make a few crosses with. So let's see, I might cut that off actually. I hate cutting a piece like that off, but hey, make it a little easier to see. Okay, and I got plenty to go around. And since this is in hydroponics, that stuff will grow right back real quick. Okay. All right, so all you do with surgical hands, I'm going to just one by one cut these petals right off. And what works really well, this is like a, I don't know, I got it from my wife. It's like some cuticle color. Oh my gosh, my light just turned off. Sorry y'all, 1 second. All right, sorry about that. It's 8 o'clock. That's when my lights turn off for the night. So, all right, let's keep cutting. So just be careful. I like to cut them pretty much all the way down to the base, just to give yourself the most available room as space as you can. Don't touch that stigma if you can. Okay. All right, pretty much got them all there. Now you'll see these little purple, these purple little columns up here. These are where the pollen is made eventually. To me, I found the best way, kind of grab them at the base. You don't even have to cut them. You can just kind of pull them out just gently. Okay, almost got them. Okay, that's it. So now this will definitely, see if you can see that, this will definitely not be able to pollinate itself. As you can see, all of the possible pollen is gone. So all you're left with is the stigma that's ready to accept pollen. So what we're going to do, what I like to do, what I find that works really well, is another Dollar Tree special. I just get a regular old, like a hobby toothbrush or a paintbrush, and I just brush some of this pollen and just it gets on the tip, and you'll be able to see it on the stigma. So all you do is gently rub this pollen. We'll see if you can see that. Yeah. Okay, I believe there's enough on there, and if not, something else you can do. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of pollen on that guy right there. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, and that's it. Hopefully y'all could follow that pretty easy. It's a real simple process. I'm likely gonna do quite a few more. Looks like I've got maybe 2 or 3 more on this plant here, but I'm gonna attempt to do these other ones here, and that's really it. I just wanted to show you all that. It is pretty basic, but again, I think in the future I'm going to be doing a lot of crosses, and I'll be making more videos on it. But I would like to talk a little more about the the genetics of what is a heterozygote, what is a homozygote, what is dominant and recessive. And that all is very important, because sometimes I know there's specific types of peppers that are pure lines, that are homozygous, and that just means that they're not hybrids. They breed true, and they will, when they self-pollinate themselves, they will always make the same, the same looking pepper every time, and the plant will look the same. Well, a lot of row crops are this way. Like soybeans is a pure line crop. You replant that seed and it will grow another plant just like it. However, corn is a hybrid typically. Typically, when you buy corn to plant for commercial planting, it's a hybrid. So that means if you say you replant corn, it's going to segregate out, and you're going to get different corn plants. You're going to have some segregation patterns. You're going to have one look like one parent, one look like another, and the hybrid factor of it will stay, but it'll half every generation. Anyways, peppers are not that different, yet I think a lot of peppers are hybrids as well, but there are some that are pure lines. So it's just knowing what your parent is knowing the genetics of your parent is what's basically gonna determine, at least give you a good idea of what your cross might end up looking like. So again, I'll do that video later on and talk more about it, but for now, that's really it. Hopefully y'all can do this and make some easy crosses yourself, and let me know down, comment below and let me know what y'all's crosses are. Let me know one of these that I've got. Let's see, one of these here that you'll see my other video here. I'll post it up. Let me know what cross y'all would like to see. I'll make any cross y'all want. I've got about, I think, 23 different varieties. So just let me know, and obviously let me know what the female and what the male is, because obviously that's gonna, you always want to. So like this is the jalapeno, this is the female. I'm gonna make a reciprocal cross. I'm gonna also get pollen from the jalapeno and cross it onto the Sintaka as well, and it'll create something different. So it's just fun to vary, to change everything, and variation is a lot of fun, especially in peppers. But that's it, guys. I appreciate y'all listening, and as always, remember to like, subscribe, and comment below, and we'll see y'all next time. Also, something I wanted to add, I forgot to mention, after you make this cross right here, let's see if we can see that one. Yeah, right here. It's good to well, it's imperative that you mark it. What I've got, I ordered on Amazon. I think these were oh man, like $6, and I got 500 of these like clothing store tags. Let's see. And I like these a lot. They kind of just dangle. They hang out of the way. They don't take up much room. I've tried putting tape on it before and writing on the tape, and it can just kind of be a little cumbersome with tape. But I like using these little like jewelry tag. You know, they got a little string, and you just write the cross. What you want to do is write the name of the female up top, and then whatever, an X, and then the male at the bottom. And always remember the female is going to be the plant that the actual cross is on. So for this one, I'll put like jalapeno on top, cross into a centauc on the bottom. That way, you know, later on when you go to look at these, you'll remember what you crossed it with, especially if you have a lot of different crosses going on. But anyways, that's it. Just wanted to let y'all know. Thanks.